Are we unmuted?
3:30.
Welcome, 303. Welcome to YouTube's. This is the Disc Golf Answer Man Show. We are getting set up for the audio recording, but we thought we'd welcome you all. Hey, how many we got going so far?
89.
89. Okay, so while we're getting things set up and make sure we are technically good to go.
I demand my own camera space. Right now, I have to share it with Eric.
Oh, wow.
Kind of. It looks like I have the most of it.
You're kind of cut off.
Dang it. No? Do I need to scoot?
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Scooch.
Whatever.
You should scoot that way.
No, this is the side where you're cut off. Go scoot over here. That's funny.
No, I thought earlier we were talking about Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
And the different flavors of Dr. Pepper. They have a cream soda Dr. Pepper. Or was this called?
No, it's called cream soda.
Dr. Pepper cream soda, yeah.
And then Eric had mentioned a cherry Dr. Pepper. So in the chats, I want you to know, what would you mix with Dr. Pepper?
I think there's a cherry vanilla Dr. Pepper too.
That's a lot of flavors.
Yeah.
It already has
a lot
23 flavors. Yeah, it is.
Sure.
I wonder what an orange Dr. Pepper would taste like.
Bad.
They have orange Coke.
Bad.
You can actually you can go to those places that have those fancy Coke machines and make your own. So we could do this.
Right.
We can go to Wendy's right now and do this.
I'm fully aware that this is possible.
Yeah.
I was just curious what people would.
Grape.
Early on, Darren Perkins sent us a $5 super chat.
Who?
Darren Perkins.
Nice.
Darren, thank you so much.
He said,
go ahead.
He said, want to shout out to EMAC and the farm.
You get the rotating basket.
Nice, thank you. Awesome job. Even got my disc back after throwing it in the pond months ago. I've heard Eric will hide signed discs at the farm at Quail Valley. Go support your local disc golf.
Yeah. Actually, not just the farm.
He'll do it everywhere.
Done that at almost all my designs.
And sometimes involuntary.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I did that in Texas.
Yes.
There's a Raider somewhere on hole 12.
No, it's a surprise. Yeah. I promise you'll like it.
Yeah.
I left it somewhere.
Yeah.
Please let me know where I left it.
Let me know if you find it.
Nathan says regular DP is fine by itself. I agree. Of course.
Sure, but that's not the point of the show. The point of the show is what we
I do like lime Coke.
Tony said
when I go to like Sonic or something, I'll get a lime Coke.
Tony says echo in Bobby's audio. I don't know why it would be just yours and not ours.
He's saying it
maybe one
twice.
Of the cameras.
I don't hear anything.
Okay, no problem. Doc says I picked up a cherry Dr. Pepper in honor of Robert. Well, you did it wrong. You're just supposed to get a regular Dr. Pepper.
Isn't that? Oh, yeah. Now that was weird in my ear.
I actually heard something in my ear that time. Yeah.
Now it's nothing?
Now it's back to regular.
It was like that for 1 second.
Yeah.
But you can still hear.
We can hear.
I can hear as well as I could before.
And there we go.
Cool. Nice.
Isn't cherry Dr. Pepper just kind of like I mean, that's what's in Dr. Pepper, right? Cherries? A cherry flavoring?
I think there's a decent.
Did you say flumes?
Prunes.
Oh.
Flumes.
I don't know what those are, but I did not say that. I said prunes.
Wow.
I believe there's prunes in there.
Jeff, it is a little chilly in Emporia. It is 58 outside right now and windy.
Must be north of you because mine says 57.
Mine says 56. Oh, wow. So you've got a weird hot spot going on there.
I do tend to run hot. Like I'm just warm by nature.
Coming in hot.
So
and it was 90. It was 90 something yesterday.
Yes, so quite toasty.
Yeah, it's dropped quite a lot.
Now this is just a weird cold front. This isn't.
It's going to be in the 70s
changing
next week.
Season, is it already?
Friday and Saturday are supposed to be beautiful.
70s.
Yes.
Yeah. So fall is right around the corner.
Cool. How are we looking, Anthony? Getting things set up. We got any more suggestions on the Dr. Pepper mix?
Desert Disc Golf said I like to put more Dr. Pepper in my Dr. Pepper with a side of Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
Same.
What's kind of the ratio though? Like, is it 1-to-1, 3-2?
You're gonna have to ask him.
5-to-12. What do we got?
You're gonna have to ask him personally.
Okay.
The doctor? Dr. Pepper?
Izzy asked about Green Mountain. Just finished round 4. Would there be any scarier card to be leading going into the final round than with Paul Eagle and Calvin chasing you? No. That's
Ricky.
Strong. Yeah, I mean, that's the only other person you throw.
I would just through my experiences, Ricky's always been that one that's like coming from behind. It seems like for those 2 seasons.
Did you guys see Calvin Heiberg's
glasses?
No,
his
disc golf pin.
Oh yeah,
where it's basically the disc in his face.
You can't even see his face.
God, it's so great, man.
I
love it. Sweating in Florida, Sci Guy Bryce says. Yep.
Yeah, I believe
feel
it.
that.
I hope so.
What you got, Anthony?
It does not sound good at all.
Nope.
No.
Hey, we got
Hi,
our
Chris.
You gonna share some news with us on the new product, Chris? Huh?
What do we got?
All right, so we're just hanging.
Gave us $2. He said, disc golf without friends. Why won't y'all play with Bobby? I refuse to play with Bobby personally.
Is there a time when they didn't play with me? Mm-hmm. I got to play some disc golf with my grandchildren.
I played disc golf this weekend too.
I played on DeVillio. Did you ever play DeVillio? Mm-hmm. And then Sooner Park in Bartlesville.
I've never played Sooner Park, but I have played DeVillio.
I think every time, I wonder if he's watching, sometimes because he does homeschooling, but he'll say, so how often do you get to play with like Robert or Eric?
Do you say never?
Never.
Not never, obviously. No.
Even when we go out, never.
Yeah. Even when we all three go out to play, we make Bobby go first, and then when he's done,
Play by yourself.
Right.
he can turn around and watch.
Yeah. For a fee.
We haven't played in a long time, and we need to.
No, we definitely need to. We need to go do a Trilogy challenge. I sent my bounties off, one to give away to a guy and the other to get dyed. So once it's back, I'll be ready.
We've got new discs. We got new shipment in, so we should be of the SPZ3s
Oh, for a Trilogy
because we were out of those.
Nice.
I want to go play the farm and then go eat at Shindig.
I'm down with that for sure. Maybe we should do our Trilogy challenge at the farm and then eat at Shindig's.
Robert is in.
I'm interested if I can play.
Boom.
The Torchies in Wichita opens next Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
I know a couple people want to go, and as exciting as that sounds,
Well, it would only be like 2.5 hour round trip.
right? But it's going to be like
3 hours.
5
there.
hour wait.
Yeah, but I mean, just think.
We tried to go to the one
your
in-
normal lunch break, 2.5 hours. Just make sure you order on the way there. You pick
That's
it up,
true.
drive back immediately.
We tried to go to the one in Kansas City when we flew in from Alaska, Denise and I. Mm-hmm. And it was, I think, 2:00 in the afternoon. So we thought, oh, this is going to be perfect. This is going to be a wait. But it won't be
hours.
that bad. No. Line was out the door all the way to the parking lot.
Really?
Yep. And I'm like, nope, not doing this.
Wait, was it?
When we came home, not when we left.
But the trip that when we left, because when me and Anthony went, we literally walked in, sat down. 10 minutes later, we're eating our tacos. How weird. They didn't have the taco of the month though. That was disappointing. I was in Tulsa, or at least in that area, and at any point in time, I was at least within no farther than 30 minutes away from Torchy's.
How many did you eat?
I didn't get to go once.
Why didn't you get to go?
That's how dedicated I am to family time.
Why didn't you really get to go?
Sounds like you're not dedicated to tacos now.
I know.
You
It
got to
just
know
didn't
your
work out.
priorities.
I was visiting friends and family, and it just never worked out.
Yeah.
So, all right, we ready? I think Anthony
Let's
said we
get
are
it.
good to go.
Yep,
All right,
let's do it.
good. Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answerman. I am Bobby Cool, Daddy Slick Breeze. I have with me Robert McCall and Eric McCabe,
Sup?
all the way from the same warehouse that I work out. Thank you guys for making the time.
I live just across, 6th from here. So
Yes. Well, thank
quite
you.
a ways away.
Yes, thank you for making the trek out here.
Yes, thank you.
On a cold Emporia day. Got about high of
a little
56, so a little bit cooler, faster than normal here for the season, but we are liking the cooler weather for sure. All right, well, it's another week of Disc Golf Answer Man, another week of answering questions. We do have some things happening here as far as events. We have the United States Amateur Match Play Championships, September 18th through 20th. Are we doing the B tier though, where the locals can play or people can sign up to play?
There is a B tier going on. I don't know if it's limited to just competitors
Oh, okay.
or not, but in the past, I think there's 2 of them actually.
All right. So we will definitely be out here doing a little bit of media stuff to kind of bring you some of the action of the players out here. But that's a pretty cool thing going on for the championship. We're giving away again. What are we giving away? Something different this time?
Give it away now.
Now?
I don't know what we're giving away.
I probably should have looked all this up before I talked about it.
Probably. In the past, what have we given away for this event?
Well, we've done Free Discs for Life, aka 10 years, and 18 veteran baskets that you can put anywhere you want, assuming that the city approves that you can put a disc golf course.
Put them in your backyard.
You could do that.
Yeah.
You could. So, we'll see.
And if you are in Emporia, you can go out to the Flint Hills Tech College and check out the brand new baskets that are out there, thanks to last year's champion, Isaiah Esquivel.
Yeah. Yes. What a baller. Where did you play disc golf this weekend?
I played disc golf at Peter Pan.
Yeah.
I went out to Pan and threw some discs. I think it was actually on Friday evening is when I went. And that course, my goodness, everything is in short right now.
Okay.
Like everything.
Yeah, sure.
Even the peninsula hole is in short.
Okay, perfect.
So I think they've got everything in short for the ELO, the Emporia Ladies Open that's coming up here in about 2-3 weeks or something like that. But yeah, it was great. I had gone out there the week before with Doug in the city about a couple changes to the course.
Nice.
Some trees that need trimmed, a couple new tee pads that I'm very excited about going in, a couple new pin placements as well. So always working on upgrading our courses here in town. And that's what people I think don't really understand is just because a course is in the ground doesn't mean it's done.
Yeah.
A good quality course is always going through some changes. So Pan is no exception to that rule. And within the next couple weeks, we're going to have some pretty cool upgrades happening over at Pan.
Excellent.
So yeah, Emporia Ladies Open, you mentioned that. That's happening October 3rd here in Emporia, Kansas. There's still plenty of room for ladies if you want to play. Mm-hmm. Also men, if you want to be involved, you can also caddy. So they got cool stuff happening here in Emporia, Kansas. I got to play disc golf with my grandson in Tulsa at DeVillio and at Sooner Park in Bartlesville, and that was fun times. My grandson throws everything and anything.
That's what you were saying before the show. Like no rhyme or reason.
No, it's like he'll pick up, he'll line up a shot, and he'll have a ward, and he'll throw it, and he'll he'll grab an Audi. Like I used to try to say, okay, now think about this and think what's the wind and do you want it to be stable? I mean, he knows what the discs do. He knows what they do, but he just tries everything and throws everything. So it's funny.
That's all right.
Anyways, good times.
Got to learn sometime. This will not surprise either of you. I did not play disc golf this weekend, but I played golf this weekend. I shot a freaking 72. My best round ever. It was awesome. 3 bogeys, 2 birdies. It was very much fun.
Was it just playing or a tournament or just
no? It was just playing with some bros.
Nice.
Most of them weren't playing very well, but we were just enjoying ourselves, and we were running out of daylight, so we were trying to hustle a little bit. And I was definitely trying to hustle because I was on a heater for myself at least. And Kevin Schaefer, after I hit my approach in on 18, was like, "Hey, are you on a heater right now?" It's like, "No." Yes. Can we please finish?
Was that Saturday, I assume? Because I would think on a day like Sunday would have been one heck of a feat to shoot anything in the 70s. It was windy.
Was it windy?
It was on, I think it was on Friday. Yeah. Sunday was ridiculously windy. I did not go play on Sunday.
Yeah. Very cool. All right, well, let's get to disc golf questions, guys. As always, you can go to discgolfanswerman.com, submit your disc golf questions. We will get them on the air. First one comes from Thomas. Let's talk about it. I've never done it. Have you?
Okay.
What do you do?
Okay.
Just light up a glow disc and throw? Or is there more to it than that? Just like how homemade Sprite isn't just lemon and lime. Rest in peace, Mitch Hedberg.
That's fine.
I don't understand the reference there.
Hey, Mitch, do you know who Mitch Hedberg is? Nope. Stand-up comedian. You should look him up. He's fantastic. But he has a very dry humor, and that's one of his.
I've seen glow sticks tied to some baskets on the courses I play on during the day. Do people tie them to every basket before they play a round of glow golf? Are glow putters even necessary for putting if the basket is lit up, or are they more for drivers and upshots? So many questions burning a hole through the old noggin right now. I just got some sweet glow discs from the Trilogy family, a Maiden, Harp, EMAC, Truth, and Explorer to comprise my glow golf bag.
Nice.
And it dawned on me that I need some light set on how to play. Look at that pun there. I need some light set on how to play a round of glow golf before I venture out into the dark. Anything will help. P.S. You guys rock. Thank you for all that you do and looking forward to your next adventures. And a big shout out to Danny and Anthony.
Nice.
What did they do?
Dude, sorry, Anthony.
JK.
All right, so glow rounds, glow golf.
There's really no rules to glow golf, as I hold a Moonshine Explorer in my hand. Mm-hmm. back in the day, we used to play glow all the time, especially this time of year when it starts to get dark a little earlier and it's cooler. You can use glow discs, moonshine discs if you want, but I always had more success in just taping one of those little red lights, LED lights on top of my disc. I know that's not legal during PDGA play, but you don't really notice a difference in flight, you know, when you just tape a disc on. And then as far as glowing up the baskets, if you're just going out and casually doing this, you don't need to do, that's a lot of extra work. You could take like a light or a spotlight type thing and shine it on the basket if you want. There's different, depends on who you play with. There's different rules that people go by. Like some people say you can't glow the basket up. Yeah. It's got to be dark.
Rude.
Yeah. And honestly, I've played some really good golf at night when I can't see trees. You don't know where anything's at. You're just throwing shots.
Just send
you know, and
you have no fear.
Kansas City has a fantastic glow league. I don't know if they still do it, but they used to always, I would drive up there on Thursday nights just to play this Waterworks glow league, no matter what. Every week I would go. I mean, the ace fund was always like $1,000. So
that would be a good.
And I hit an ace one night. It was on hole 13. That's kind of funny because it was on hole 13 and it was in the short position, the kind of the valley hole over there.
Right.
And I'd never played the short. It's always in long, typically when I go. And my partner threw his shot first. And I was like, okay, where's this hole at? He's like, well, you see my light? It's a little bit further left and a little bit past it. I'm like, all right, cool.
Nice.
So I just threw it. Next thing you know, you just hear chains and you could see the disc spinning in the chains.
That's
and
cool.
It was really cool. The same night I threw a disc with a stick, tape on it with a glow stick, hit a tree, and it went across the branch perfect and ripped the tape off. The disc kept going, and my glow stick was stuck to the tree branch.
Did you find your disc?
Nope, never did.
Here you go.
Here you go. But my glow stick was up there. But there's really no right or wrong way to do glow. It's just about going out and having a good time.
Yeah. If you take moonshine discs, then take a powerful flashlight with you. Don't just take like your phone flashlight, but one with a
like a black light.
Yeah, that works. Or even just like something with a wider lens, just so you can get more of the disc in contact with the light.
I saw somebody had a box, like a shipping box.
Oh, that
had a light in it. And
that's cool.
They had a bunch of them. They put their discs in there and just turned them all on, and
Nice.
they're
That's
always
a good
glowing.
idea. I got an ace in the dark one time, but just with a spotlight, like a million candle power spotlight. My buddies and I were out playing in college, and one of them was like, man, how do you even get close to this hole? I was like, yeah, I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys how to get close. And I threw this putter, and at the time I never threw putters for anything. And we caught it with a spotlight. No glow stick on it or anything. So if we didn't see it, we just didn't see it. But they caught it with a spotlight and just tracked it into the basket, and all of us lost our minds.
That's cool.
It was fantastic.
All right, next one comes from Brian. How to tell friends that I want to play on a different league card occasionally.
Whoa, dang.
Here we go.
It's not you, it's me.
Hey, Disc Golf Answer fam. This is more of a navigating personal relationships question than a disc golf question, but I thought you guys might have some insight.
You've come to the right place.
Yes,
we're great at navigating relationships.
Navigating life. I play in one or two singles leagues every week in my area. Over the past year, I've made a few disc golf friends and invited them out to league. Players pick their own cards at league, and every week it's the same 2 or 3 friends asking me to play with them. This isn't all bad. I do enjoy the company and am happy to play rounds, but occasionally I'd like to play with some of the better players at the league. I'm a solid intermediate player with my eyes on advanced and eventually open, and most of my friends are in the rec intermediate border. Any suggestions for how to tell my friends that some of the time I'd like to play with some advanced MPO players? Thanks for keeping it real. I would say basically you just got to tell them. You got to keep it real. We'll send you some of the Keep It Real classes.
Oh yeah.
We actually will not do that.
No, we don't. But you can buy some yourself, and you just got to keep it real and tell them. Here's something that I've learned that I think is very powerful, actually, and that is. What?
I was just thinking.
I was just envisioning Bobby being the guy getting told, "Hey, I want to play with better players."
I was envisioning how we should say, "We'll give you glasses," without like, "We'll give you our blessing to go get these glasses."
Sure,
but whatever. Yeah, go ahead. It's good. It's good.
No,
you just got to sit them down. You just got to go.
You just got to tell them, and then you've got to realize in your head that in life, don't do people wrong. Don't be a jerk. But you are not responsible for the way people feel about what you do or what you say. So you've got to tell them, hey guys, occasionally I like to play with some of the top players so I can kind of better my game. And then you just got to go do it, because you are not responsible for the way they feel about it. They may be a little bit upset, they may be hurt, but that's not your responsibility. They have to deal with that themselves.
Can I present a counterpoint to what you just said?
Yeah.
I think that it is true. You are not responsible for how people react to what you say or think.
No, how they feel.
Oh, how they feel about what you say or think. But I don't think that should give you free license to just be a jerk.
What did I say at the beginning?
No,
I said you have to be. Don't do people wrong. Don't be a jerk.
I'm not saying that you're saying that. I'm just saying that some people would hear what you just said and say, "Well, look, I'm just going to say whatever I want, and if someone has a problem with it, then they're stupid." No,
because Cool Daddy Slick Breeze said so.
Yeah, and he sent me some Keep It Real glasses, or at least his blessing to go get them and call them by their trademarked Keep It Real glasses name. Anyway, all that to say, I'm with you. I think at the end of the day, you're going to make the decision, and you got to just go with it. But just be careful how you say it. I think I'm not disagreeing with you.
That's what I'm saying. Don't be a jerk and whatever, But
tell the TD that you want to play with some other guys.
Just lie.
Show up late.
Yeah. Or
good to go.
I mean, even alternatively from that, you could just be like, "Hey guys, I want to try playing with a different group this week."
Yeah.
I don't think that you necessarily have to elaborate on the type of player that you want to play with. Just say, hey,
Paul Macbeth asked me to play on his card this week. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, you guys are out.
Something like that.
I don't know. Just something like, I just want to switch it up just to see if I play any differently. I'm preparing for some tournaments. I want to get a little bit of variation in the people that I play with.
Right.
And just
P.S. I don't like you.
Yeah. And be like, also, y'all are bad.
Y'all are bringing me down.
That's what it is.
Hey, listen. You need to unhitch from this train. Okay. This train's headed toward advanced and open, and you guys, we don't need the caboose anymore.
You have derailed.
Yeah, that's right.
And then make sure you return the Keep It Real glasses. Or use them for later on down the road.
That's right.
Okay. So this is from Dr. Teeth.
Dr. Teeth?
From the Muppets?
Maybe. He has a question about overstable fairway drivers.
Oh, then yes.
I've been playing disc golf casually for years, but I'm still moving from having just a few discs to trying to fill all the spots in a full bag. I see all the cool kids around me throwing Firebirds, but when I try, it always fades too early on me unless I throw it on a flex line. I'm wondering what a good disc might be for a noodle arm like me that still wants a Firebird-esque flight.
Perfect.
For example, very straight and then a lot of lateral movement at the end and maybe even some big skips. Why are there so few options from all manufacturers for very overstable discs in the 7 to 8 speed range? Why did you?
What?
Is it safe to assume that at my low arm speed, most discs will just act more overstable? I can throw my Eagle pretty straight. I just want to finish harder than it does. That's what I'm looking for. Maybe at my arm speed, I'm already getting all the finish that I can. Any ideas? Thanks for keeping it real.
Okay, so let me make sure that I'm understanding correctly. If you're throwing an Eagle and it goes pretty straight, but it's not fading as much, I think you answered your own question by you can get more fade. You're just going to sacrifice distance to do it. Overstable fairways aren't intended to fly super duper far unless you are the top
unless you have
guys.
The arm speed.
Yeah, unless you can crunch on them. What you probably want to do, since you yourself said you're at a lower arm speed, is find something that's in the neutral to slightly overstable range, and then get good at throwing that on a little bit of hyzer. Because it's still going to push straight, but it's going to finish left for you. And actually, the higher you throw it, the more it'll finish left, because when it has a little bit more glide and less sharp overstability, you can get a farther left finish out of that. If I was going to make a suggestion out of the box for you, I'd say the Getaway would be a good one for you to pick up. That's less overstable than a Firebird, but will still go pretty far and get you some skip at the end. That'd be what I would suggest for you.
Do you throw a Firebird, Bobby? How about a Felon?
I don't throw a Felon.
That's what I meant, a Felon.
Right,
But,
no, I
you
do
do not throw a Felon. What do you throw for that type of a shot? Because it sounds like he has a similar arm speed to you.
And what is it now?
It's basically...
It's like an overstable fairway driver.
Overstable fairway driver. So if you need, a couple hundred feet.
And then sharp finish to
and
the
it
left.
just needs to go left. Or there's a nice headwind. What are you throwing?
I've been throwing the Vandal. Now I know the Vandal's still going to have that straight shot, but I feel like it still fades nice at the end. The escape, my escape that I used to do that to me, but now it's really broke in.
Turns over more.
I do have a Maverick that is a hybrid, and it's fairly. It used to be one, or I used to have a Lucid Maverick that Robert gave me that was stable, and that way it could be straight, and then I know it's going to fade.
What do you throw that you know isn't going to go straight? That's kind of what I'm getting.
That's going to go left.
That's just going to go left.
100%.
Oh, gosh.
Do you have a disc in your bag that you do that with?
Probably not, no.
You don't even carry one like that.
I carry a Defender for like super high winds.
So a Defender's probably what you would throw. I got you. I think the Getaway makes a lot of sense in that.
I've wanted to put a Getaway in my bag, but every time I think about it, I don't put it in there.
Yeah. Or even a Biofelon would work pretty well too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Felons
They
scare
tend to
me.
beat up
'cause
a little bit more.
Well, and that you're going to have the same problem that this listener's talking about.
Yep.
All right. Next question comes from Daniel, making the switch.
Nice. What do you think he's talking about?
He's going to quit playing disc
From
golf.
Coke to Pepsi.
Nice. Both great answers, guys. Both definitely not what he's talking about, but I really like it.
Hi there, DGAM fam. I've been drinking Pepsi for the longest time.
And now I'm taking up golf.
Dang it.
First of all, if Danny isn't there, please tell him thank you for answering my question. If he's not there, please tell him thank you. What if he is here? He's here, so I'm not going to tell him thank you.
Yeah, huge rip.
Wait till he leaves and then text him.
For answering my question a few weeks ago about
a
run-ups.
wonderful person. I would never tell it to her face.
Now for another question. I'm making the switch from a mixed bag to just throwing Trilogy. Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh,
okay.
Huh. I wonder why
that would be an appropriate question for this show, for sure.
Okay.
And I was wondering if y'all could help me find a disc in the Trilogy lineup similar to the Discraft Mantis, a fairway driver with the numbers 84 -22. Thanks for the help and keep it real.
Sure. I mean, there's two that come to mind.
Is this one of them?
No.
Okay.
The Mantis is
8402?
Yeah.
Or 8422 is what he said?
-22. Yeah.
-2.
So he's probably really looking for that turn and kind of like, I don't know, a little bit of finish. So the two that come to mind would be the Maverick is the first one. I think that's the first one that you need to try out of the box. Good glide, easy to turn, but not easy to roll over. You can just, throw it straight, get it to work right for you. The other one might be an Escape. It's going to be a little bit faster than a Mantis. You might try a Fusion Escape because I found those work in just a little bit faster than the Lucid ones. And it's not going to have quite as much turn out of the box as your Mantis does, I believe. But over time, it'd probably get to the spot that you'd want it to. So those would be the two that I'd suggest instead.
I don't know what a Mantis is, so...
It's like a little
praying
bug.
mantis.
Little insect.
They're known for praying.
Yes. They're known for
very faithful.
For thoughts and prayers.
Yes.
Next one comes from Patrick. Oh, this is probably the most violent question we've had.
Oh
wow.
Hypothetical.
Goodness.
You have to play a game of dodgeball, but instead of balls, you're throwing discs.
Ooh.
Let's say that magically no one would be hurt.
This is a waste of time. Why do we even play?
But he does want to say, who do you pick for your team? He says 2 MPO and 2 FPO players, but let's just say we're forming a team. What would be the one MPO player that you pick, Robert?
I mean, I'm trying to get top accuracy here because speed isn't as speed. All top MPO players are going to throw fast enough that the disc will do some damage.
Especially if you're not going to hurt the other person. So that kind of goes out the window.
I'm taking Nate Sexton. I'm telling you right now. Forehand, he's always looking at the target. I'm taking Nate Sexton. Nate, let's suit up.
I think I'll take Simon.
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
I'm going to take Drew Gibson.
Also a good idea.
For the power and the intimidation effect.
That's true.
You know, because he's going to show up for a game of dodgeball.
And people are going to laugh.
I mean, he's tatted up.
He's what?
He's tatted up.
He's right, exactly.
People are going to be like, oh my gosh, this guy must throw a dodgeball fast.
Yeah. Fast. But he's not going to hurt me. No. But it's going to be fast.
But
super fast.
At the very least, I'll be scared.
Yeah. Probably not, but.
Yeah, but maybe not. Who knows?
And then the FPO player?
Okay, FPO side. I'm taking. I want another I'm trying to take forehand dominant players. After this weekend, I'm taking Haley King. Very accurate thrower of the disc and a good forehand. Yeah. Keeping your eyes on the target, pretty important in dodgeball. I'm taking Haley King, Nate Sexton.
See, I disagree.
We are ruling the world. Go ahead.
You don't want to have forehand because if your eyes on the target, that person's going to know that you're throwing at them. So you want to come in blindsided on people. I'm taking Paige Pierce because I've seen her throw a disc and get a strike in bowling.
I did see that.
Oh, that's true. So power and
accuracy.
Yeah. And win some money.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Who would I take? I guess the other obvious. I mean, there are a lot of women that throw really far, but I guess the other FBO player that throws a pretty good distance could be Katrina Allen.
Yeah.
So I'm going to want that power behind it.
I think if you're looking at like the overall athletic side of dodgeball, Katrina's the easy pick.
Yeah.
She's a former volleyball player, still a very athletic person in more than just disc golf. Right. She'd be a good pick.
All right. Next. Patrick has. Patrick. I listened to the hot take episode a long time ago about the animals, but late at night, it still haunts me. Whenever I see an octopus, I wonder how far it could throw a disc and could it defeat a primate? So
no, of course not.
I'm telling you,
just because it has 8 tentacles doesn't mean that it can throw farther than primates. It's obvious. Also, never bring that up again, please.
We've had lion. You ever seen that one?
No.
The other guys when he's talking about the tuna and the lion.
I haven't.
You got to watch it.
I'm sorry. That's the one with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell. Okay.
Yeah. And The Rock.
I've heard that I would enjoy.
Samuel Jackson.
Yes.
That's good.
All right. Trying to find a good question here. Taking relief from obstacles. If you want to look this up, this is PDGA 803.02. This is from Nate.
Sexton?
Martin.
Oh.
Hey guys, I played in a non-PDJ sanctioned tournament where rule 803.02 was vaguely cited twice.
Two times.
I had to look it up afterwards. Case number 1. My disc ended up in a creek designated OB by the TD, earning me a penalty stroke. I chose to take 1 meter relief from where it last crossed inbounds, which put me directly behind a tree. Someone claimed I could take relief as far back as I wanted from my new position as long as I remained in line with my marker relative to the basket. I chose to play from where I initially marked my relief, taking only the OB penalty. Could I have taken advantage of this rule in a sanctioned event without adding another penalty?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean that's the rule. Once you've gone out of bounds and you establish a lie, then you can go as far back on the line of play. The line of play is between the basket and your mark, as far back as you want to. You could go back behind the tee box if you wanted to. It probably wouldn't be advantageous.
It could be though.
But you could.
It could work.
So
if there's a fence or something you got to throw over.
So yes, you could do that.
Like hole 1 at Peter Pan, that rule could come into play.
Oh yeah, taking it much farther back. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay. Case number 2, a card mate from Australia. Cade mate. Oh, sorry.
That's how you think Australians sound? Okay,
He marked it upside down.
I've been watching a show with Australians in it, and I'm starting to get the...
Oh, yeah, that sounded natural.
Cade mate.
Hey, in the chat, tell us what accent that was just now, because I guarantee you guys don't say Australian.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
A card mate threw his disc into a big brush pile that was impossible to stand on or in, but not OB. Another player claimed he could take relief as far back as he wanted in line with the disc. He played from behind the pile, which was about 2 to 3 meters from his disc, with no penalty. In a sanctioned event, would this have been legal?
Okay, here's where you're at on this. 803.02, and then this is letter B. It says, if a large solid object prevents the player from taking a legal stance behind the marker disc or from marking a disc above or below the playing surface, the player may mark a new lie immediately behind that obstacle on the line of play. So it's not immediately. Yeah, this isn't as far back as you want to. You don't get to establish your best lie when you're taking this relief because this is free relief.
Yes, he could take an unplayable lie.
Then you get to go as far back as you want.
With a stroke penalty.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
But this is different from the OB situation because in the OB situation, you've already taken a penalty stroke. You get to establish a new lie. This, you're getting this for free. No penalty stroke. You have to play it immediately behind, like as as soon as you can put a mark down, that's where you have to play from.
So basically on the edge of that brush is where that mark is going to be.
It doesn't say where you can have establish a lie and have good footing or have a nice run up. It's just immediately behind that obstacle on the line of play.
So I would do my best to get a lie.
Yeah.
Got it.
Climb in that bad boy.
Yeah.
All right, next one comes from John. An easy handicap system for fun tournaments. Hi, just got into the podcast and growing my collection of Trilogy discs. Latest passion is the Moonshine Verdict. I have set up a course on school grounds in Thailand and have a lot of new adults and children of differing abilities getting into the game. Without any statistics from most players, is there a simple system for leveling the playing field in a fun tournament? Gosh, I don't know. You'd almost have to see them play for a little bit.
Yeah, you would.
There's really no way of,
Sight unseen, you can't really do it.
Yeah.
You could, if you were playing a couple of rounds, you could flight it. Like I've seen some golf tournaments where, let's say there's 30 players. Everybody just plays their normal first round. And then after that, you put the top 10 players in one flight, the next 10 players in another flight, then the bottom 10 in another flight. And then you're just competing with the people in your flight. Yeah. And then everyone gets on the airplane and then you leave.
In their flights. Next one is from Brent. This is on plastic. I recently started playing and came across your podcast while seeking additional content to feed my new obsession during my 45-minute drive to and from work. Nice. I like hearing people just discovering this stuff. I work in the plastics industry, and I'm always interested to learn about what our material goes into, as there is a certain level of pride that comes from using something that I've had a hand in, albeit a very distant hand in creating. I understand this may be digging into proprietary information, but can you offer any information on what kind of plastic you guys use for your disc? Yes. In fact, you have answered your question. Because of proprietary information, we cannot share the type of plastic. It's just one of those things.
Yep. I can tell you the process is awesome and it's fun to watch.
Don't give away too much, Robert. What if other people make awesome stuff?
There's Oompa Loompas.
But not as awesome as us.
In Sweden.
I forgot to talk about the Oompa Loompas. Thank you for bringing that up.
All right. Sorry, I wasn't prepared. I was Oompa Looping. Garrett wants to know about Understable Discs. I packed up disc golf 2 years ago.
I quit. I knew it was coming.
I picked up disc golf 2 years ago and studying for doctoral exams. I'm getting a phone call from an 800 number. Playing every morning while listening to your podcast got me through it. Nice. I learned to play in flat, open, and windy conditions. So I only threw overstable discs, thinking that the ones that flipped over were no good. Now I understand the physics much better. Thanks, Danny.
He's not here.
And I'm starting to incorporate understable discs.
He just throws a big thumbs up behind the camera. He's not here.
What advice do you have for building consistency with hyzer flip shots? Sometimes I throw it well with a little flip. Sometimes it turns over too much or not at all. Thanks for all you do. Keep it realio.
Realio.
With Coolio.
Nice.
Slide, slippity slide.
Or Julio.
I had a similar experience to you. I learned to play in Abilene, Texas. It is very flat and very windy. Very windy. So I threw a lot of overstable stuff. Once I got into the woods, I was in trouble. I didn't have any idea what to do. So what I worked on was exactly what you're talking about, learning to throw hyzer flips or just learning to throw neutral discs flat so they fly straight. That's good too. That was harder for me than throwing something on hyzer and letting it flip up to flat. So the thing that helped me to learn the fastest was just to go out into a field and do it over and over and over and over with each disc, trying to think about like, all right, you said you're studying for a doctoral program. So I think the idea of degrees of angle of hyzer will, I guess that might strike your fancy. It might strike a chord with you. So I would think, hey, I want to throw this disc on 10 degrees of hyzer. And I would try to do that and be as close to that as I could and then watch how much it flipped and then say, okay, now I need to, if it flipped too much, okay, now I need to go 15 degrees of hyzer, 20 degrees of hyzer, below flat. And then just kind of keep up with that until I understood, okay, this is about how much hyzer I need to get the disc to do what I want it to do. after a while, it just becomes more of a feel thing than a strict kind of science numbers thing. But that's how I got started in it. And that's how I throw now is just hyzer flips. That hyzer release should be pretty natural to you having played in the wind, because that's what you're going to have to do to fight the wind most of the time. So I would do exactly what you're talking about, but just practice in the field some more.
Yeah. And same for me. I grew up in Kansas, playing in Kansas, so it's always windy. And when I first started playing, we didn't have overstable discs. We had DX plastic was the only thing available. So while they were stable brand new, by the third and fourth time you threw them, they were flying a little different. So
yes. That's
why I'm a natural hyzer release player. I feel like it's harder for me to put anything on more of a turn angle or a flat angle. I'd much prefer to keep my shot the same for consistency and change the disc.
Yep.
So, always have that nice hyzer release. Hyzer flips are probably my favorite shot to throw.
True.
Caden wants to know about the Getaway and its flight. If I were to purchase the Getaway Fieldwork pack, which is, what is it, 10 discs or 5?
No.
It's 5, right?
5, but different plastics.
Right. You buy a Fieldwork pack in a certain mold, and you get that mold in different plastics. He says,
what a great idea.
Does the flight vary enough between the plastics to where I could bag all the discs right away? Or should I bag 2 of them and then add the other 2 later down the road?
I don't think you're going to want to bag 5 Getaways.
That's fair.
That's what you think.
Yeah, that's true.
I was going to say.
I could be wrong. 5 Getaways, that's a bit much.
I got 4.
You got 4 Getaways in your bag?
Lucid X to very beat up Fusion.
Okay. What other fairway drivers do you have?
Maverick and a Felon.
Okay, see, that makes a little bit more sense.
So,
Had you scared there for a minute.
But just right out of the pack, would you want to do that? Would you want to kind of throw them a little bit and get them beat in?
Brand new, they're probably going to fly pretty similar. What are the 5 plastics?
It would be
Bio.
I don't remember off the top. It'd be like Bio, Lucid, Lucid Air, Fusion, and we don't have Prime
Lucid?
yet.
Did you say Lucid? Lucid X?
It might be Lucid X. Oh, it's 4 in the Getaway one? Okay, so go ahead.
It is Biofusion, Fusion Burst, Lucid, and Lucid Air.
There you go.
Oh, so there's 4 in this one, yeah.
So having that said, it's called a fieldwork pack for a reason.
Why?
You kind of answered your own question. You should test them out before deciding which one's the bag. I think if you threw them all into your bag to go play a practice round, no problem. Yeah. Great. Throw them all on a bunch of holes. And I think that's actually a great way to learn different plastic types within a certain mold. But you're going to have the best success going out into the field, figuring out where those sit in relation to one another, and then building your bag according to that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Brand new, they're probably going to fly pretty similar. Those 4.
Agreed.
I mean, the air one may, depending on your arm speed and whatever, but for the most part, I'd say they're going to fly pretty similar out of the box.
Yeah.
Next question comes from Kevin. Adding a marker to the T-pad. Okay. In a recent Jomez video where Big Germ and Yuli were mic'd up, about an hour and a minute into the video, they have a debate on if they can add a marker to the T-pad so they don't tee off from the front where the T-pad had a dip.
When I dip, you dip, we dip.
They bring up that Lisa got stroked because she used her bag to mark her aiming point down the fairway. Yeah. But is marking your lie on a T-pad considered a strokeable offense?
Do you know this?
I don't.
I would say no. Because as long as you're still using the teen surface, then why would it matter if you put a mark down? As long as you're still throwing from that, I don't see why. I would never stroke anybody for doing that.
No, I think that the big difference between this and what happened with Lisa Fakis is Lisa walked out in front of her lie and put her bag down at about the distance that she wanted to throw to, and then threw next to it. That
you
happened.
Just got to pick a stick on the ground or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't place a stick. Just see one. Throw to that.
See one.
Yeah. Don't put it there because then you've broken.
There's something.
Or something. Yeah.
Marks the ground in that area.
Whatever it is. But the problem is that's in front of your lie. On the T-pad, the end of the T-pad is the front of your lie, so you can kind of do what you want behind it.
because you got the whole tee pad. You could tee off the very back of the tee if you want.
Yeah, as long as your supporting points are on the tee pad.
Yeah. So I don't see there being an issue with this at all. I don't know that it's in the rules. I know Robert has it pulled up, but I don't think that it's actually physically in the rules.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But if that's illegal, then it would also be illegal for people to throw a towel down during wet conditions, which you see that happen all the time as well.
Yeah, I would say that's legal. I know I when Lisa did that, I knew that wasn't.
I did too.
Yeah, which is unfortunate for her. But this is one where I hadn't really thought about that, but I can't imagine.
I would never call anybody out for doing that.
No. Yeah, all right.
Unless it was Bobby.
Same.
Of course. Jacob wants to know if companies like Infinite Discs or OTB Discs put more money into sponsoring pro players like Drew Gibson, do you think more players would throw a mixed bag?
They do sponsor Drew Gibson though.
Well, yeah, but he's saying that as an example. Yeah,
like Drew Gibson. I gotcha.
Maybe. I think a lot of players throw mixed bags, right?
I think more people throw mixed bags than don't.
Now, if you're talking about at the top level, maybe.
There's really not. I mean, Infinite and OTB and those type of companies can't offer what bigger manufacturers can offer the players also. Yep. You know, like an actual mold for a signature disc. I mean, sure, Infinite has their own discs. What's another, like, I can't think of any other companies right now.
The flaw in
like Marshall Street or something.
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
The flaw in the question is that if Infinite Discs or OTB Disc had enough disc to create a full lineup, that's what Drew Gibson would be throwing if they were sponsored by Infinite.
And he's
Discs,
also sponsored by Legacy.
Well, but right now, and I think this is what Infinite is doing, is they're saying you can have a mixed bag forever. We would love for you to throw some of our discs, but you can throw whatever you want.
You don't think if Infinite at some point had 20 discs,
that would be a change from where they are right now.
Right.
Definitely.
That's what I'm saying. No,
Possibly.
But I think that's the allure of something like this. And it's different from what's happening at the pro level across the board, because, you know, all of our players are required to throw DD Latitude or West Side discs. But if, say, they had been throwing Discraft before and they love the buzz, if they were sponsored by Infinite, they could throw all the buzzes they wanted to and then throw whatever from DD, whatever from Innova. So I understand the draw of it because you have unlimited plastic options. But I don't know, that's starting to become a thing in golf right now, but there's still a ton of players that have 14 club deals, 13 club deals with one manufacturer. I think that's going to be the standard for sponsorship for a long time.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, DD used to be that.
Yeah, before we had our own lineup. Yep.
All right, last question comes from Ryan. Hey, I currently drive with and love a Lucid Escape, but I'm looking for a more overstable disc to throw into the wind. I am considering either the Convict or the Getaway, but from what I can tell from dynamicdisc.com, they seem fairly similar to each other. Wondering which one you would recommend and why. Thanks for having such a great podcast. It has helped me out a lot.
Just out of those two discs, if you're asking about those two discs, I would 100% say the Getaway. The Convict it's all right. It's a good fairway driver, but it's not as consistent, I would say, as the Getaway.
I'm thinking if you're throwing the Escape and you're looking for something for sure overstable, I would say the Getaway is going to get you what you're looking for.
Yeah,
for sure.
The Convict has more turn than the Getaway for sure. I would say they have somewhat similar fade. The Convict may fade just a little bit less. The thing that I like about the Getaway over the Convict is the Getaway for me is just a point and shoot with a little bit of finish. The Convict, it's one of those that you have to throw on hyzer to get it to fly straight, ride to the right, and then come back a little to achieve the same sort of flight. So for me, that's why I like the Getaway between those two.
I would also say an Explorer is just fantastic. You absolutely,
Yes.
if you haven't tried an Explorer, you have to put an Explorer in your bag.
Yeah, 100% agreed. Super duper good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's all the time we have for the Disc Golf Answer Man Show. We sure appreciate you sending those questions and having fun with us as we answer them. Keep sending those in, discgolfanswerman.com. We've switched over to a new way of doing our streaming. We're slowly getting it figured out to make it work right with all our setup. But next week we should have Speak Pipe back in place. So make sure if you want to send in your voicemails for us to answer your questions, send those over. You can find it at discgolfanswerman.com, and there's a how to submit your question section that has a link to Speak Pipe. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye. YouTubers, hang tight.
Hang in tough.
We got some hot takes. We might, okay, so queso and Jeeps. So last time we tried the disc golf and non-disc golf one, but I'm thinking because a lot of people
that was a good discussion you guys had.
Yeah, we we had the discussion about ketchup and what my parents for Labor Day. I said, "What are you guys doing for Labor Day?" We're not sure. Well, I said, "Let me cook you some steaks. I'll cook some steaks and
Don't
veggies."
You do it.
I'll cook some steak and veggies. And my dad was like, and I was like, I'll make you a baked potato, Dad. And he's like, okay. So I made me and my mom steak and some roasted green peppers and onions and some not roasted, but grilled sweet potatoes. And I made my dad baked potato, right? So I've got all the steaks. They're in the aluminum foil. They're, they're finishing the cooking in the aluminum foil. And I said, all right, everything's ready. We're grabbing plates. What does my dad grab out of the kitchen or the refrigerator?
Hate to see it.
Ketchup.
I said,
for like a medium rare steak.
Ketchup popsicle?
Yeah.
I said, are you kidding me? He goes, that's how I eat my steak. I was like,
Not this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took it away. Not this one. No,
You should have had him on the show. You should have called him up.
Man.
So does he eat ketchup on his hot dogs then?
I should have asked. I didn't think to ask.
See, I like ketchup on a hot dog.
I'll eat ketchup on a hot dog. I don't think it's like as weird as everybody was leading on.
Oh yeah.
Like
not like ketchup on a steak though.
What are you
Unbelievable.
doing? Like that's to me, that's not so off the cuff that I'm going to judge your livelihood for it.
Yeah. Somebody messaged me. Somebody messaged me individually on it was either Facebook or Instagram, I don't remember which, and said, okay, this last hot take was the first one that I had a really intense reaction to. he said, who puts ketchup on mac and cheese? And I was like, I know, that's gross.
We're all staring at Danny, by the way.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so we're gonna do this. Yeah, ready?
Yep.
C.
Yep, as in you're ready, or yep, as in go?
Yep, as in we're recording.
Hey guys, welcome back for another disc golf hot take where the takes are hot and the opinions are cold.
I always think of whose line is it anyway when you start that out.
Where everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Yeah. So this week we have a hot take from Danny's mind.
Ooh.
But Robert is going to be his stand-in.
Robert's soul.
Danny's got some. Yeah, Danny's got some things that he's working on. So I'm gonna present his hot take as if it were my own.
Let's hear it.
Take it in as if it were my own. So here's this week's disc golf hot take.
Disc golf hot take.
Okay. We talk a lot about newer players. And learning to throw the disc well. And here's Danny's hot take. That gatekeeping distance drivers behind an arbitrary power level is dumb. So what he means by that is if you can't throw 350 feet, then you shouldn't throw a distance driver. He says, as long as they're flying nose down, distance drivers will go farther with less control for everyone.
Explain it to me like I'm 8.
Okay. I thought.
Explain it to me like
I thought that was.
Okay. Explain it to me like. I'm sorry. Then explain it to me like I'm 5.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Okay. So we have these round things.
Okay. So you have a limited stand.
No. So a lot of times when people are talking about getting into disc golf, they say you should stick to only fairway drivers until you can throw a certain distance.
Okay.
He says that's stupid because distance drivers, as long as they're thrown nose down, will always go farther than fairway drivers, but with less control. That's the case for everybody. Like I can throw a Raider farther than I can throw an Explorer. I can control an Explorer much better than I can throw a Raider, but I can get the Raider to go farther. That's kind of the trade-off that you have with this.
Yeah, but I kind of disproved that in our, is this correct for you? When we had the Vandal and the Raider.
Okay,
absolutely.
Let's talk about it.
Because I remember, because I was like, in my mind, I think, high speed driver, I'm gonna just go
mash
launch
on
this
thing.
one, right? And then so we were doing the Vandal, the Raider, and the Bounty. No,
Sergeant.
Sergeant. And and then I threw the Vandal, and I remember even someone remarked and said, I think you threw the Vandal farther than you threw the Raider. And I remember we measured it off, and sure enough, I threw it farther, and I was like, what the heck? I need to stop being that guy that thinks they have to throw high-speed drivers to get distance.
Sure. Okay. Danny just messaged me this, and this is what I was about to respond with anyway. The nose down part of this is very important. So,
well, but if I mean, at my level of play, I try to control the nose, but I don't have control like other people.
Right.
Oh.
But it's not about your intent. It's about what the disc actually does.
It's always about my intent.
So there's going to be a simulator at every disc golf shop that you walk into,
Yes.
and you throw into it, and it tells you what speed you can buy.
And it'll say nose up or down.
Yeah. Well, no, it'll just say you can have 10 speed and lower.
Yeah.
That's it.
Don't go shop over there.
It's like the adult section. You
Yes,
got to be 18 to get in there. You got to have a good arm speed to get in there.
Okay, so here's where Danny's hot take really the most important part is that if you can throw a disc nose down, then distance drivers should always go farther. I would say in that video you probably didn't throw those discs nose down.
No.
But I guess the question is, does that mean that people should that they should still take distance drivers early on? That's the big question.
I mean,
What do you say?
I say it's to each their own, honestly. I mean, it depends on the player. To me, it depends on the player, how good a form that they have. I know the nose down thing's obviously very important for high speed type drivers, but I honestly, I'm kind of in the middle here. I don't necessarily have a dog in the race because I've never cared about what a disc's speed is. You know, I find out what a disc is supposed to do, and I'm going to go throw it. And if it flies good for me, I keep it.
Right.
But that's my old school mentality too. So,
Well, and it's been years since you haven't been able to throw far, like a really long time.
like my whole life.
Yeah, correct.
Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
I mean, I started throwing like 200 feet. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's a mash, am I right?
Yeah.
No,
When you're starting out, at least.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, and when I started, it's tough for me to answer that, I guess, because when I first started out, we didn't have numbers. You know, I remember when Innova was the first one, I think it was Innova was the first one to put numbers on a disc. I'm like, what the crap is that? Like, I had no idea. To this day, I couldn't tell you what a lot of it is.
Yeah.
I mean, 5502, the best flying disc ever made. It's all I know. That's all I know.
Is that a Warden?
That sounds very
Maverick?
Warden-like.
Close.
Speed 5 really sets it off.
Yeah,
It can go
yeah,
far.
Yeah.
What do you
Depends
think?
on how hard you throw it.
Yeah. What do you think, Anthony?
I think Danny's got a point. I think that when you're learning, in my mind, this is geared towards the person who can't throw nose down and is trying to.
Yeah.
I think as long as they're taking a disc and working on throwing it nose down, you could learn that and you can force yourself and teach yourself to do that, whether you're using an enforcer, a judge, anything in the middle. It's more about what you're doing to the disc and how you're throwing that disc. So I wouldn't recommend someone use an enforcer to learn to throw nose down, but that's not to say that you can't. Someone could absolutely pick up an enforcer for their first disc, learn to play disc golf with that, and play properly. It's not going to be the easiest. It's going to accentuate your learning curve, but it's absolutely possible.
Okay. So while I'm presenting for Danny, I'm going to be on the other side of this argument where I actually am. And that's because, all right, let's say you do see a newer player. They can only throw 200 feet, right? And that all they have is, let's use something even more mild than an enforcer. Let's say a trespass or even a renegade. All those discs are going to act the same to them. Granted, they're probably going to be throwing nose up, no doubt about it. But even if they're throwing them absolutely level, but they're only throwing them 200 feet, they're going to have a better time throwing fairway drivers because they're more forgiving of the flaws they have early on. That's where it is for me. So if I think until you can, that's why the distance component I think is important. Until you can throw a certain distance, it's not helpful for you to have a distance driver. You know, maybe you can throw the Raider 10 feet farther than your getaway, but that's not really helpful for you if you can control the getaway better. So
Sure.
that's where I'm at. I don't know.
I think the distance number is kind of arbitrary, though. If Bobby were to take a Raider and throw it as well as he could on the most Anheuser possible, it's going to fly farther than, I mean, in the filming for that, he wasn't trying to do that.
Right.
You know, and so if you were to say, okay, well, I just need to throw this 300 feet and then I can get a trespass.
Sure.
You can go out there and say, okay, if I max out at like 280, then I can just keep throwing until I got 300. Now I can do it. No, it's more about, like Danny says, it's more about throwing nose down. You want to have that clean form. That's more important than yanking something over on an Anheuser 40 feet in the air and letting it pan to 302 feet.
Totally.
So that you break that barrier.
Totally. Yes. So I guess that's something important to parse as well, because he says gatekeeping distance drivers behind an arbitrary power level. I don't think that the power level is arbitrary. I think it's different for each person. Right. So just because you can't throw 300 feet doesn't mean you shouldn't try a distance driver. But if you can't throw 300 feet, it's less likely that you should be throwing distance drivers.
For sure.
So I do believe it's different for every person. But for me, I feel like there is a threshold at which you're throwing a Renegade and it does nothing but just dive, because speed acts like stability when you can't throw very far. If a disc is faster, if you can throw a diamond 220 feet and someone puts a Freedom in your hand, you might argue that the Freedom is more understable, because when they're both thrown at the speed that they're supposed to be thrown at, it's going to be very, very understable. Right. But the Freedom would act like an enforcer to them because it's so fast. So speed acts like stability at those slower distances. That's why I think you should throw something that's just a little bit more forgiving out of the gate.
I've stopped thinking of the Raider as a distance driver for me, even though it's something that is one of the farther discs.
But why?
Because of that, you looked at the very reason you're talking. Yeah, I looked at the
Have you felt the rim? It's quite wide.
No, in other words,
because it's an overstable disc for you.
Right, it's an overstable disc. If I try to throw the Raider as the thing I can throw the farthest, it's not always going to happen. I think of my lightweight Fusion Raider as a certain shape I want out of a shot.
Okay, yeah, I can dig that.
And then for pure distance, what are you reaching for?
It's either, depending on the wind, it's either going to be the Renegade or my Trespass.
Both great discs.
I see what you mean. I think. I understand the way that you're trying to attack it, and that makes sense. And I think I wish more people felt that way, instead of saying like, oh, this hole is longer than 300 feet, I have to throw my distance driver. They could throw something that actually gives them a shot to get to 300 feet, instead of just taking the fastest disc in their back. But I think that's a common misconception for beginners, that this hole reads long, I have to throw the fastest disc in my bag.
Now, admittedly, when I go out and play, I'm not out there trying to fix my mechanics so that I can throw a Raider the way it's supposed to throw. Sure. I'm not doing that. I'm just not into it.
You're just having fun.
Yeah, right. I'm just having fun. And you know, when I played this weekend, I even threw the Vandal a little bit more because of the whole, I threw the Vandal farther than I did my Raider, that whole thing. And I noticed that I could control it a little bit better, which makes a lot more sense than trying to go for all that distance. Nose up, nose down, or
nose sideways.
Yeah.
So pretty good at those nose sideways shots.
Ouch. Control.
Have we exhausted this argument, or have we even argued it? Or
yeah, I mean, I would like to hear Danny's take on it, but he got stuff going on, so
he covered it.
I said all right, we covered it.
All right, we covered it. All right, thanks for tuning into this Disc Golf Hot Take. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Just so we're on the same page, Danny, I do think people should be able to throw whatever disc they want to. I'm just not surprised when it doesn't work as well for them. Do you know what I mean?
I think the problem is people are almost tell people you can't throw that disc yet because you don't throw a certain distance.
Oh, sure.
But as long as they're getting down, they're going to get more distance out of a faster disc. So
hold on. Can we talk about that though?
That's the other problem with it, is that's what everybody wants to do in disc golf when they're starting out. Is throw as far as they absolutely can.
I get what you mean. Okay, but let's talk about that principle for a second. So
say it again because they're not going to hear that.
Okay, so Danny said, here, say what you said about the fairways and distance real quick, Danny.
So the problem is when you see a newer player who's throwing a disc that you think is too fast for them because they don't throw very far, and people will tell them that they shouldn't be throwing that, or that they're wrong for doing that. And I don't think that's the right attitude, because as long as they're getting the nose down, they're going to be getting more distance out of that faster disc.
But isn't that the problem though? If they're a beginner, they're not going to understand the mechanics of keeping the nose down.
This isn't from the perspective of a beginner. This is from the perspective of a low arm speed.
Okay.
Like you're not a beginner, but if you get the nose down, you're going to throw a Raider farther than you throw a Vandal.
Okay, but first of all,
Let's prove it. Do it now. Let's go.
But I disagree with that because, all right, Bobby could throw a Raider as flat as he possibly could and put that same move on a Vandal. And because of the stability and glide of the Vandal, I think the Vandal
Vandal's
would go
going
further.
I would agree with
I guess
that.
9
Raider
times out
Vandal
of
was a
10.
bad comparison. Maybe
so
Trespass Vandal.
I think if you go similar stability, faster disc.
Now, the nose down perspective, or you saying throwing nose, is that simply just physics? Because
Yes.
you're saying the way that the disc is shaped, nose down. I mean, is that more of a, I don't know how to say what I'm saying. Is that more of a theory or a hypothesis that
No.
So because of the physics, it should do that? Are you saying that every time, if the nose were down, I would throw a high-speed driver faster than a fairway driver?
Not farther than a fairway driver, but farther than a disc thrown nose up. Yes. Same
You'll
arm
throw
speed.
further every time. Nose down.
There's another school of thought where, like, man, I don't throw 450 feet. Why would I ever throw a distance driver? I could just throw a fairway driver on every shot. Oh, really, the only people who are getting use out of their distance drivers are the big arms, like, Calvin and Eagle and them. And I disagree with that. I disagree with that, because even somebody who throws 350 feet, if they don't have to throw their distance drivers as hard to get that 350 feet, it's going to be worth it for them. I think in general, distance drivers go farther for everybody with less control. It's just the difference between the different speeds is going to be less, just because the end isn't as far.
Yeah. Okay. I hear you.
Okay.
I dig it.
Fair enough.
Stick close to this microphone, because this is important for this.
The non one?
For the next one?
Yeah.
All right, ready? All right, guys, welcome back for our bonus audio.
Pardon me?
What accent was that one? Australian?
Yes, with
Indonesian.
Indonesian.
With a little bit of Valley Girl.
Right, yeah.
Okay, good.
Born in Australian, born in California.
Yeah, good.
Wait, what?
Does that work?
Yep.
Australian, born in California.
Yeah, of course.
Californian,
An Australian.
born in Australia.
Nice.
All right, so this is some new stuff we're trying out where we're doing some non-disc golf hot takes. Danny has this one ready to go. Roberts will be reading it for Danny.
Well, okay.
Danny's here. Danny could read it. Right?
Well, yeah. Why don't you just say
now
it?
Danny's
go
on the
ahead.
mic.
All right,
What's the non-disc golf hot take?
Just go ahead.
This is something that I feel very strongly about, and I think across a large variety of situations, I hope you'll come to see things my way. I firmly believe that apple juice is the best juice, and no other juices come close. Get out of your orange juice. That's like the number one competitor. Grape juice, you're trying to stain everything. Cranberry juice, bitter, it's terrible, but it does help your memory. So I guess that's okay. And that's like all the good juices. Apple juice is the only S tier juice. Everything else is a solid B tier.
Okay, so
I'm gonna agree. I think apple juice is
how could you be so wrong?
Every time I go to a buffet and they have the little juice machine, I'm going straight to.
If you don't go straight suicide,
apple juice.
you're just wrong.
You do, but there's just
Cranberry juice, grape juice.
Now, sometimes I will, depending on how the mixture is, sometimes I have to put a little bit of water, but the sweetness of apple juice and the taste of apple juice goes so perfect with a nice egg sandwich.
This is a hot take developed and approved by 6-year-olds. You guys all band together and made this hot take.
What other juice do you heat up and it becomes a completely different drink?
You don't need that.
It's the Transformers.
No, you don't need that.
Of juices.
You need
When you
orange
heat it
juice.
up, it doesn't become juice anymore,
Orange
though,
juice
right?
is the quintessential juice.
Who?
Orange juice is the quintessential juice. It's best for breakfast.
That's all marketing.
It comes in several different varieties. You can have lots of pulp, you can have some pulp, or you can do none.
You're trying to chew
and you
your
can have
juice
it
over
with
there?
vodka.
Get out of here.
That's the whole point. Apple juice doesn't need to be messed with because it's pure. Orange juice is so jacked up. We've got to add variety.
I mean, that's still pure. It's
That's not jacked up. That's the way the fruit is.
In other words, people can't make up their mind which orange juice they like, so they got to have different varieties. Well, apple juice is straight. You want apple juice? We got apple juice.
Okay, except for not everybody wants apple juice.
Oh, they do.
No, they don't. I'm
What?
not an apple
Secretly.
juice guy. I do not like apple
I
juice.
can't remember the last time I drank apple juice willingly.
I do. I was 3 years old.
Yeah, sounds about like that time frame for me. Maybe when I was in the hospital when I was very young. That would be the last time I drank apple juice.
That's why your growth is stunted.
No, because first of all, hateful, but true. But I drink orange juice on the reg because it's fantastic. And the argument for people can't decide what type of orange juice that they like, that's a miserably bad argument.
How?
Because the fruit comes out.
In other words,
with-
apple juice, you don't have to do anything with it because it's perfect
like
the way
drink
it
it
is.
because nobody likes it.
But it's
You don't have to
great
do
just the
anything
way
with it. You
is.
can leave it on the shelf where it belongs, and you can get your orange juice of any variety.
Okay, Mr. Purist, Mr. Dr. Pepper Purist, you can't have any other kind of Dr. Pepper
No,
because
no,
it's
you
the
can't.
original.
No,
That's
no,
the
you
whole
can't.
point.
No,
but you don't want
That's-
people touching it.
No.
Let me finish.
You
Let
even,
me finish.
you even corrected one of our viewers. They said I had cherry Dr. Pepper, and you said, well, you had the wrong thing. You had Dr. Pepper.
Okay,
is
but
pure.
that's a completely
just
different
like
topic.
that. Apple juice is pure one type of apple juice.
Yeah, I just don't like that juice. I think it's dumb. It's a bad juice. Orange juice in any variety is better than apple juice's one variety.
Nope.
As long as it doesn't have like cranberries or anything.
You don't like cranberries?
No, I'm not a big fan.
Can you
drink some
guys quit
cranberries.
fighting over your silver medal, please?
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Yes. Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Are you gonna say prune juice?
No, I'm not 80.
Okay. That's
We
fair.
got both sides of the
Hey,
spectrum here.
don't forget though, you will be one day.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah, that's true.
Orange juice, apple juice, breakfast, lunch, dinner, don't care. You know where they don't serve apple juice, orange juice?
In hell.
Thank you, Bobby. They don't serve them in church. You know what they do serve at church? Grape juice. Grape juice is the best juice. Yes, it stains things if you knock it over, Danny, but if you pour it in your mouth, it's delicious.
When you put it that way,
do
I
like
probably
grape
have
juice.
drank more grape juice lifetime than any other juice.
I do like
but
grape juice.
still,
And also, people were talking about like mixers and stuff. Grape juice. Just leave it alone for a bunch of years. Now it's wine. Okay? So if you want to go the alcohol route, grape juice
true.
still wins.
That is true.
all I'm saying is, you know what? I would drink grape juice 100 times before I would drink apple juice. I think apple juice is terrible.
I think I'll go grape, and then orange, and then a lot of other things, and then apple.
Yes.
I guarantee you more lunch boxes are full of apple juice than any other juice.
Yeah, for children.
Because that's where you begin. You start them off right.
No.
And then you grow up.
And then
to
you
grape
start
juice.
drinking.
Okay. So by that logic, do you still eat fruit roll-ups regularly?
They don't put fruit roll-ups in lunch packs. They
Yes,
put
they do.
apple juice.
What?
They don't put fruit roll-ups in lunch
Bobby,
boxes.
you haven't had a school lunch in
You
a very
literally
long time.
have no idea how many fruit roll-ups I ate as a child. And how many do I eat now? 0. Because I grew out of it, just like I grew out of apple juice into a more sophisticated, better juice, orange juice.
I like beet juice.
How can I tell you've been on a strict beet juice diet?
There is but there is a place in New York, a restaurant called Core that has a bunch of like drinks like that, but they have a beet lemonade that is really good. Don't say ooh, Mr. Apple Juice. It is very good. It basically tastes like a pink lemonade, but with a little. But you probably don't like beets.
I do not like beets.
Beets are good.
I like. I like.
You
a
like
good-
apples.
I
We're
like
done.
a good reggae beat.
Hold on. Okay, so Chris Carpenter in the chat said, Robert, you can't tell me you don't go for that apple juice in the juice machine at hotels. I can tell you that because I
That's
don't.
absolutely what I go for.
No. I would drink water
Be
before
an
drinking
adult and
apple
drink
juice.
coffee
I would
like
drink
the rest of
orange.
us.
I drink tea instead.
Well, that's
But it's still better than apple juice. There you go.
coffee in the morning, tea at night.
Okay. Respect. Dr. Pepper in the morning. Dr. Pepper at night.
If we're talking health, then apple juice is number 4 and orange juice is number 8.
Dang.
What's number 1?
Cranberry.
Yeah, get that out of here.
Yeah, because it's
Number
0
2 is
calories.
tomato.
You can't drink it.
Tomato juice is good.
Guess what number 3
I
is?
like tomato. Grape.
Beet.
Oh, you already said beet.
Grape's not even on here. 5 is
win.
prune. 6 is
Grapes in a tier
pomegranate.
of its own. That's why.
And 7 is acai berry. All right. Well, I guess we're all gonna have to
grape is
agree
above S
to
tier.
Grape has
disagree.
ascended.
Apple juice.
Everybody enjoy your juice. Let us know in the comments or when we post this on the Facebook group. Let us know which juice you think is the number one juice. We'll see you guys in the next hot take.
Clams.
Oh, why did you have to say that?